I can't imagine people, when they decided to play early access of Path of Exile and buy a supporter pack or a key, that they would have suspected that such a big nerf and or hammer would have come down this quickly and swiftly. It's gotten quite the backlash, not by all, but by some. So in this video, we're going to cover basically what the nerf was. I'm going to cover one specifically because unfortunately it impacted me personally and my build. I'm going to talk about the kind of what the discussion is right now, because there is some negativity flying out there. We can debate whether it's a lot, whether it's not enough, whatever. That's not really the point of the video. My videos and my content is to be factual, and I'm the glass is half full kind of guy. I kind of want to provide solutions and not make problems. So that's kind of where this video comes from. And in light of that, there's a lot of talk. A lot of people are making suggestions on what should be done. There's some that I've heard that I agree with that I want to highlight and hope that it gets into the ears of Grinding Gear Games. And I think, as do many, that if they were to do this, this would buy some goodwill back for GGG. Anyway, let's get to the details. Okay, so this is the patch that came down, and there was a lot of improvements and changes. We're not going to cover it all. I will link the patch notes in the body of this video. But really, what I want to focus on, and basically where the hammer came down, was on the trigger gems and energy gain. Now, I'm running a sorceress. It has the cast on freeze, and it really just ignites a comment, and it's based up on building up on energy. I'm not going to get into the dynamics of the build, but basically, I guess Grinding Gear Games found this to be a little bit too OP. I don't think it's an exploit. I don't think stuff is not working as it was not intended to be working at. I just think, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, I just think Grinding Gear Games is like, nope, we don't want this in the game. This is not how we see the game being played. So in that comment in itself, we can debate both sides of the spectrum, but I don't want to go there because then we're just going down a rabbit hole. But this has caused a lot of people basically having their builds nerfed to the ground, myself included. And I'm in Act 2 of Cruelty. I'm literally on the doorstep of the end game. And I'll be honest with you, I was really looking forward to getting there. I've been taking my time, going slow. I've been dying a lot. But the sorceress is, you know, I haven't optimized it enough, and I'm paying the price for it. But I'm getting through the content. And I have to say, I don't think I felt overpowered. I don't think I was blasting through the game, but again, that's another discussion. So these builds that rely on the trigger gems to build up energy, build up freeze, shock, whatever the scenario is, and then trigger something, it's out of the game, nerfing a ton of builds. And so the question becomes, okay, totally agree, this is early access. The point of it is that we're testing the game. Grinding Gear Games is going to make adjustments. Now, the problem now lies with, what are these players going to do with their builds? They're going to have to either create a new character or respec, and both present problems. So let's demonstrate, okay? Now, this is my build that just got nerfed, the sorceress, and as you can see, I'm a level 56 Stormweaver. All right, and if I were to go in and refund my passives, okay, I only have 30,000 gold, okay? And I'll be honest with you, as soon as the nerfs come down, I immediately shifted to how am I gonna rebuild my character. And I had over 60,000 gold, and I spent a good chunk of it gambling it, because I'm now going to respec into fire. But that's another story. My point is, and why I wanted to illustrate it, people are either going to start a new build or they're going to respec. Now, respecking, I only have 30,000 gold, but even if I had the 60 prior to doing this video, I still would not be able to respec this whole tree. So 30,000 gold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I can't go anymore. I'm not even a third of the way through. So let me cancel this because I need the gold. But I wanted to show you this illustration. It's literally, now dependent on where you are, it's literally going to cost you, I would suspect, to fully respect these builds that were nerfed, I would say 40 to up to 100,000 gold or more. Again, it's all varied. How high level you are, how many passive skill tree points you have, how many you have to refund. Maybe it's less if you're respecking into something and you've done a good job outlining your nodes. So, but my point is, you're going to drain, if not all of the people that had their class nerfed, not all of their gold, but a good chunk of it. And then they are basically have to grind hours and hours and hours to build it up again. Okay, so that's number one. Number two is people need to start a new class. Now that presents a problem because there's two types of players. Players like myself that create content on it. This is like a part-time job for me, hopefully full-time one day. And I live stream every evening. So I'm playing the game anywhere up towards 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day. But that is not the case for most people. Most people, or sorry, some people only have 1, 2, 3 hours a day, or maybe even just a week. What do you do to that person that is maybe because they don't have enough time? So it's only been 3 days. They're probably still in Act 1. They were starting to feel the groove of this build and really getting excited, maybe walking into the first Act 1 boss in a couple of days. Again, these are people that only have minimal hours, right? 3, 4, 5 hours. Or even, let's go to the next level, someone that has 10, 15 hours a week. Maybe they're in Act 2 and they're feeling the groove much more further than the first example I gave you. Now you've just nerfed their build. Because the campaign is long. First playthrough is going to be long. It's going to keep going down and down and down. I've already noticed the improvement in the acts, my time. Like I'm in Act 2 of Cruel, so I've done Act 1 twice, and I'm doing Act 2 almost twice completed. And my Cruel clear time is way quicker than my normal difficulty Act 1 and Act 2. So we are going to get quicker and quicker, but right now we're not. Okay, everybody's first playthrough is going to be long. What do you do? What is that let's put ourselves in their mindset. How are they going to feel? They're not going to feel good. So either if they're stubborn and determined like me, they don't give up. They're going to, okay, I got to relevel or respec, and they'll find out a way. Okay, but I would argue a good part of that population of players may say, I'm done. Like, I'm done. I'm just going to wait for the release. So, and that's 9 months, 10 months, 12 months in my estimation, my speculation. Okay. So my point is, both scenarios are not good, and both scenarios leave a bad taste in the player's mouth, no matter how you slice and dice it. Now, not everybody's going to be in or feel like that. I get it. Like myself, I know it's early access. I know this is going to happen. I'm just going to go in stride with it. But I'm concerned, and this is the genesis of this video. I'm concerned the people that are not are going to walk away, and they're going to lose the opportunity to play such a fabulous game. Now, some of you might say, well, too bad. Let them go. It's their own problem. We don't have to beg people to play. Got it. Guys, I get both sides of the spectrum. I'm not saying one is better than the other. But I'm trying to get this to where we don't have to let those players make those decisions. And that leads me to my suggestion, which many have made. And that is grinding gear games. You need to buy some goodwill back here. There's a lot of negativity. And I know, guys, 20% of the people make 80% of the noise. So take it with a grain of salt. But whether we like it or not, it's there. And I know this is the internet, and I know this is gaming, so it's always going to be there. There's always bad apples. I understand, guys. But I like to always remember, what's the point? What was the rationale behind Grinding Gear Games making this game? In my humble opinion, they realized Path of Exile 2 was at its cap and they couldn't reach a broader audience. That was one of the reasons. There's other, but I'm focusing on that. They realized Path of Exile 1 was at its cap. It couldn't go and reach a further audience, and hence they made Path of Exile 2. Now, again, I know there's a lot of other reasons why, guys. They didn't want to reskin Path of Exile. They started getting into it and they realized, you know what, we might as well just make a new game. They wanted the combat to feel different, and it shows. This game, to me, is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It's still got a lot of things to fix, but hopefully we'll get there. But my point is, they want to broaden their audience. That means they want to cater to people that only have 4, 5, 6 hours a week, and they want to cater to people that grind the crap out of this game, and everyone in between. And they've done so, I think, very successfully in lowering the barrier of entry. Path of Exile 2 does an amazing job on teaching you the game in subtle ways. People complain about this skill tree. This skill tree has been so optimized, it's not even funny. All the information the players get in the game is leaps and bounds ahead of what Path of Exile was. Path of Exile 1 was sink or swim, you're on your own. Path of Exile 2, you kind of have a life jacket on in a lot of things, which you didn't have in Path of Exile, okay? So this game is catered to the wide spectrum of players. So with that in mind, I suggest Grinding Gear Games does a free respec when they completely nerf builds to the ground. Now, how they're going to do that is where I come up against a wall. I don't know if it's feasible for them to do a free respec. Like, so for example, my sorcerer build got impacted. Am I getting a free respec? Is it that simple? All the builds that were like hammered, Grinding Gear Games gives you a free respec. Is that a problem? Does that present a problem for Grinding Gear Games? I don't know. I haven't had enough time to think about it. Do they not do nerfs until potentially we're going to start seeing league type mechanics in Path of Exile 2 during early access? Do they not nerf and wait till they start running these league cycles in early access? Is that how they do it? So let these builds stand, but then before the league, the practice league, for lack of a better term, in early access starts, do they announce, guys, just want to let you know, the trigger builds, not happening anymore when we start this new league in early access? You know what I mean? So they could take that approach. Could they maybe do a discounted skill refund skills? So for the players that were impacted by this hammer, maybe they give us 70% off, a 50% off refund skills one time kind of thing. Or some people suggested in my chat, why doesn't every player that got nerfed just get X amount of gold? Which I think that can kind of get out of hand. But my point is, Grinding Gear Games, you can't nerf builds to the ground when the campaign is so long right now, because it's still early days. I know it's going to go drastically down, but I'm talking about what it is right now. It's so long, some players don't have that time. So for you to completely wipe away all their work in one swoop, and now they got to do it all over again, knowing the mountain they got to climb that's ahead, that you could see why people might kind of walk away. So I think if you gave them the free respec, I really do think it'll buy you a lot of goodwill. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a non-issue? Do you think it's just babies being crybabies? Like, what is it? Like, but seriously, guys, you know I'm taking a different approach. Like I said, my build got nerfed and I'm taking it in stride. It's early access. This is how it's going to work. But not everyone's going to take it like that. So let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Did your build get impacted? How are you feeling it? How are you dealing with it? Or I'd really also like to hear from players that basically this was the last straw. Hopefully there's not a lot of you, but I would like to hear from everybody. So get in the comment section and let me know. And as always, thank you very much for supporting my content. And for those of you that don't subscribe to my channel, if you could like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube content. It doesn't cost you anything, and it would really tremendously help me out and support my content. Thank you so much for that. And we will be live streaming every night. We'll be live streaming tonight, live on Twitch. Channel name is SamyCaps. Come over and say hello. We can talk about this. We can talk about anything. We have a cool, chill community. We'd love to have you come over and say hello. All right, everybody. Take care. Hope to see you next time. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.